remember back in the day when you taught me to live and I taught you to pray. We went in the battle together, no matter the weather, we never delayed. You gave me commands, I always obeyed. I never let you go astray. I never thought I'd see the day that you would come and just betray me. Sick of playing silly games, you never loved me anyway. You should not have let me get away, cause now I'm hunting for my prey. I'm bigger, I'm better, my mind is a weapon. I won't ever let up. You try to break me down and I'ma just get up. They ask me how I did it, I'ma just tell them I rose up. I'm a survivor. Fight for my life. Coming back stronger.
Welcome back into the 260 podcast live from Speed's Fieldhouse. Follow us at speedsfitness.com. Back here with Dave Rickert, the mayor, and Dave Doster, former Philadelphia Philly. And Dave, I know that we're going to start talking a little bit about the college days and moving on. You played for Bob Warren, right?
Yes, I did.
Oh, boy.
Yes, I did.
Probably got some Bob Warren
stories. Yeah, a few. A few that I can't discuss on air, but yeah.
Before we go there, though, so you graduated in '89. How was your high school baseball seasons?
Pretty good. We won our only sectional. We won my 4 years. We beat who did we beat? I want to say Elmhurst.
They were stout.
Yep. Yeah,
they were stout.
I think it was Elmhurst, but yeah, I hit a grand slam. I remember. It was late in the game, 5th or 6th inning, and the bases, we had second and third with 2 outs. And I remember Jason Lance, I think it was Jason Lance, was on deck, and I grabbed him and I said, "You have to get on base." I go, "If you don't get on base, they're going to walk me." So I think he either bunted, somehow got on base, something, even with the guy on 3rd and 2 outs, and he got on, and first or second pitch, I hit a grand slam, put us up, and then we obviously closed it out in the 7th, but yeah, he looked at me and was like, "Okay, I will." So yeah, I mean that would have changed. I think we were down 2 or 3 at the time. Right. So, but yeah, just had we had a bunch of great seniors: Craig Henney, John Durnell, Jim Wissman was our closer. He was a junior. Ryan Vincenski was at first base. So we had a good mix of seniors and sophomores and juniors that
so you're finishing up your senior year.
Gosh darn Ben Van Ryan.
Yeah, he's a little rough. He's pretty good.
He's noble, right?
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
Yeah. So you're finishing up your senior year. When did Indiana State get involved?
I went to a camp my junior summer. Went to an Indiana State camp. Went down there, had a really good camp. And about that time, actually, my freshman year was the first time they saw me because Doug Loudon was pitching for Elmhurst.
Yep.
Through about 93, 94.
Yeah.
I was a freshman. It was sectionals. Struck me out twice. And then my third at bat, I hit one over 30 into the front yard of a house over there. And Indiana State was there. And then I got an invitation to come to their camp.
That really helps out.
Yeah, it helps out.
Yeah, it's
so
good to be seen.
yeah, good to be seen. So about that, that's when it really started. And then I went to their camp and pretty much I didn't really go anyplace else.
So that was it.
That was
where
it.
you wanted to go.
Yeah. Well, we had Randy Kiefaber, Jim Thompson. We all played together on Hamrick Real Estate.
Yeah.
So me and Randy decided he was going. I said, all right, I'm going. We were roommates, and he pitched at
That makes it
Northfield.
that makes it a lot easier
Yep.
as a freshman going when
The guy I roomed with at the All-Star game, shortstop from Ben Davis, he was going. So and then we had Stoney Burke out of Avon. He was a draft pick to Boston. So yeah, we had a bunch of guys from that All-Star team too that was going. And
so Matt, like you said, now he's going to play for a legendary coach.
Legendary is definite. Bobby could be off the reservation at time. I'm sure.
Yes,
I'm sure. I went to a baseball camp up in LaPorte when I was just gotten into coaching game, and Bob Orton was one of the featured speakers. And I was a little taken aback.
He's a little different. He was
Yeah.
Marine.
Yeah.
Ex-Marine,
Yeah.
So
You better run through the wall. right
we
now.
did. We ran a lot, not through walls, but we ran a lot. So yeah, I lost a lot of weight my freshman year, and it was 95 degrees. And back then, you could play fall. We played 50 games in the fall.
Yeah,
played every night, every single
night.
Yep. So, but that's what you have to do at that level. That's a D1.
Yep, for sure.
Well, I mean, the Missouri Valley Conference. Back then, it was one of the top in the nation.
Yeah, Wichita State, Creighton. They both played in the World Series my junior year. We had them in our conference, so we played 2 of the World Series teams were in our conference.
Right.
So awesome, yeah. Doug Mirabelli, Dreifert, all those guys are at Wichita State. Yeah.
So what was it like? Your freshman. How much did you get a lot of time your freshman year?
I started.
So going from New Haven to Indiana State, and seeing the difference in pitching. What was it like?
I remember I faced a guy at Missouri, Ty Detmer, and he threw me a slider for the first time. I had no idea what that was. I'm like, I need to figure this out, or it's going to be a long 4 years. So I think I struck out 2 or 3 times and went back that next week and started learning how to hit a slider. Sat on the bench for about 2 weeks and then came back and never left a starting lineup. Till my senior year, I broke my wrist and I was out for about 4 weeks. But yeah, adjustments, man. Baseball is about making.
Oh, absolutely. No, I mean, how much at that time, video? Was it, or it was just strictly you had to kind of recognize what you did and you had to go make adjustments on your own?
You have to figure it out,
Yeah.
and we did. We spent a minute back then. We didn't have rules. My sophomore year they instituted the 25-hour rule. But yeah, my freshman year, we lived in the cages and hit and did all that. And
you worked together to critiquing each other.
Exactly.
Helping each
and
other.
It was just us working with each other. And, I think kids these days, they want it now and they don't want to put the time in and they want that starting lineup as a freshman. And, we told.
How many swings were you taking?
Gosh, we would do buckets and we'd be out there for hours, until it got dark because we didn't have lights. So we were out in the outdoor cages hitting as long as we could and until they locked the cages on us. And they wouldn't do that because they liked that you were out there.
Right, exactly.
You were out there hitting. So
you progressed to your sophomore year. You lead the team in average at 326 and hits at 71?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you figured it out.
Yeah, I did. Figured it out quick. Went and played summer league in Ohio at that college league. I can't remember the name of the college league, but 4 of us went over there and played, so that helped. It was a wooden bat league.
Oh, absolutely.
Got to play some outfield and played some other positions, and came back and just the comfort of being there and knowing what you need to do to get ready. It's at any level you've got to figure out how you're going to improve because you get to that point where everybody's the same, especially pro ball. Everybody has that talent. It's about who's going to work harder and who's going to do the extra there.
Absolutely. And I would think, that summer ball, playing those multiple positions really helped you down the road.
It did.
For sure. Because, I always tell kids when I was coaching is don't lock yourself in because you don't know.
You don't.
You really don't.
If they ask you if you've ever caught, you say yes.
Yeah.
If you haven't, who cares? Just figure it out because there's going to be a time where they need a catcher and you're going to be the guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I do fantasy baseball. The second baseman, shortstop for the Phillies now, Stott.
Yep.
He's second base. A lot of these guys, he's third and average now, but he's a utility guy.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
figured out, I'm going to stay here
Gonna stay
somewhere.
here. Yeah. It kept me in the game till I was 35 years old. I played every position except pitcher and catcher. So I wanted to be, I don't care. Put me on the field. I just want
Well,
to play.
it's a testament to your attitude and how you went about things. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you got to be, as a New Haven Bulldog, you got to be a Bulldog
You
out
do.
there and find, you know, you got to rough your way through some tough times. I
Oh,
mean,
you
it's
do.
not easy.
It's not. And, you know, and I remember when Chase Utley came to AAA and I was there and they're like, we want you to move. At that time, they were moving him to third. I had to move to second. And I was like, you know what? I don't care. If I'm on the field,
Just find me a spot.
find me a spot. I'm going to hit for you. I'm going to drive in runs. And you put me on defense, I'm going to play. I got 4 gloves in my locker, 1 for each position. And, you know, luckily I had a Wilson contract and I could get 7 gloves.
Nice.
So back to 91, were you a fast kid? Because I mean, you had 11 triples.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't like blazing speed, but I
Don't
knew how
let
to
him-
run the
Don't let
bases.
him lie. I watched him play. He could run a little bit.
I could run a
He
little
was
bit.
fine.
Yeah, I could, but it was more. I became more of a base runner, not a speedster.
Yeah.
Even in my later days, I was stealing 10, 15 bases at AAA not because I was blazing fast, but I knew how to read pitchers. I knew, you know, sneak in and what are they throwing? Are they throwing a curveball? I'm going because it's going to be hard unless he throws a perfect curveball
Right.
and throw me out at second base. So little things like that. Again, kids, you need to learn how to
play the
Is
whole
it
game.
cheating? It's borderline, but it's giving yourself that advantage.
It's the lost art.
Exactly.
It
They don't
really
do it anymore.
is.
People don't do it anymore.
No, I mean, they're so scared about, you know, I again, it comes down to that instant gratification and not having to work at it. Well,
Yeah.
you have to work at the whole game mentally,
Yeah.
physically. I mean, there's a lot of tricks in the trade, and
there is.
you can get away with a lot of things. Like you said, you're a great base runner. I mean, you did have some speed, but again, it's picking those chances and learning the game.
Exactly.
You know, people just don't learn it. They don't want it. They don't want to put in extra time to study it and to find out, hey, get yourself in a pitch count here. I'm going to steal on this pitch because he's
Exactly.
probably going to go breaking pitch. I mean,
Yep.
yeah, just those certain things that make I believe the fun part of the game is thinking the game.
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly. And that's what I try to teach the kids I'm hitting. There's certain hitting situations that are going to make you a better hitter. You know, I learned that you don't have to get a base hit to get an RBI when I was playing.
Right.
You know, you can get a ground ball and still get an RBI. And at that time, RBI is money.
Yep.
You know, if you're playing, you know, they want RBIs, they want, you know, average and give me my steak, what we used to call steak, a ribeye, and I'm good. I don't
Yep.
care how I get it.
Yep. For sure.
So 92 was good for you also.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was the teams like for you? Did you guys?
We were Wichita and Creighton every year, man. We
Yeah, I
always finished
remember.
third. Yeah. We had a really good tournament. I think I made MVP all tourney team that year. I had a real good tournament, which we played out in Wichita. But God, always battling Wichita and Creighton every time, man.
Good ball clubs.
And it was just crazy. We were over 40 wins all 4 years. We never got invited to a regional, and that was the only thing I really regret. That
Yeah.
we never got
The
that
big,
chance.
the big dance.
Yeah, and we had the one year, my senior year, we were the next team because they were like, "Who's on the bubble?" And the first team they said was Indiana State. And they had made all the picks. Notre Dame got in, and we were just like, "Gosh, dang it!" That obviously was my last
Right.
chance as a senior. So
That hurts.
And back, you made your mom happy. You was all academic team. in 91.
yes, I was. Believe that or not, yeah. That's where my kids get all the smarts. No, they're way smarter than I was.
Yeah.
We'll see what the wife says about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, she's pretty smart too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you make, your season's over. You're a senior. When did it start to pick up that you was going to be drafted?
I really didn't know. I had heard some stuff, but I was supposed to go to Wichita. Well, that was my junior year. So yeah, I really didn't know. I talked to some people, but really didn't know. I knew I wasn't going to be a high round pick. I was a senior. I was like, I just want a chance to play. And I think the second or third day, Scott Turka, who was the Phillies regional guy, gave me a call and said, "Hey, we just drafted you." And I didn't know what to say. I was on the phone, and he's like, "Are you
What was
excited?"
you doing?
I was just at the
out in
house.
the yard?
No, I think I was out getting ready to go to the batting cage or something. I don't know why. I just assumed I was going to play at the next level.
Right.
I expected it. At that point, I was like, I didn't know how it worked. So yeah, he calls me and said, "Hey, you're leaving in 2 days." And we drove to Indy. We drove to Indy the next day, signed the contract. He was a Wilson rep. So I signed my Wilson rep glove contract and left for Florida the next day and was down in extended spring training for about 2 weeks.
How big of a whirlwind was that? I
That's
mean,
crazy.
it had to have been. I mean,
It was crazy.
Trying to get your bearings on it.
Figure it out. You get there. They don't tell you anything. You go to the, you fly down, you go to the hotel. It's like, where's the field? You got to see other players and follow them to the trough,
Yep.
So we would eat breakfast at a local restaurant on the way to this spring training facility, which was a walk. And then that first day is crazy because everybody, like all the new drafts are in.
Sure.
You got your number one picks are there and all that. And, you can't touch them because they're the number one pick. But yeah, again, once I got
How many of those did you pass over?
Oh, man. We didn't. Well, so Wayne Gomes was our number one pick. He was out of Old Dominion, pitcher. Played with him all my years. Great friend of mine. And then Scott Rowland was our number 2 guy. So Scott was there.
And you guys are still close.
And we're still close to this day. Yeah. I texted him when he got inducted to the Hall of Fame and said it's awesome to know that my ex-roommate is in the Hall of Fame. That's a pretty cool story,
Yeah.
So
how long did it take you from Florida?
Yeah.
To get to the show?
So 93 I was drafted, 94, 95, and then I went to my first big league camp in 96.
So you got to go to the big league camp.
That was my first year on the 40-man roster.
Good for you.
Got on, and then
2 years or
that June, close to Father's Day or on Father's Day, Mickey Morandini got hurt, got called up. And then I think it was Father's Day that night I hit that home run. Brandon Martin was watching it.
D-Mart, my buddy.
Was watching it someplace, and he jumps up, and the fan's going. He sliced his finger open, and
I'll have a discussion with that.
He's
later on about that.
That kooky guy, I tell you. So hit the home run, and so about 2.5 years.
So you're playing with the Phillies, and I mean, they're legendary for their off the field. Let's say
they got a crew.
They have a crew.
They had their own. Yeah, they are their crew. I mean, you're talking about Lenny Dykstra, Kurt Schilling,
Dalton. Yep, Dalton was there. I got to play with Schilling all year in '99.
And Benito Santiago
was awesome.
was one of the greatest guys. I love that guy.
Yeah,
he had a gun.
Yeah, he did. A great dude too, man. Great dude. Just chill and just love playing the game.
I mean, how was it? I mean, you're in that clubhouse now.
Yeah,
yeah.
You're one of them.
Yeah.
I mean,
spring training was a little intimidating. I will not lie. But once I was there, I was with them all spring training, so they knew me. They were happy to see me, and Fergosi was a rough one.
Right.
He's a tough guy. He loves his veteran players, man. So he would bag on any rookie that came up anyway. So I felt a part of it.
What was Larry Boa like?
Was Bo? Yeah, Bo was our third base coach. So I liked him because he was an infield guy. So I worked a lot with him in spring training. So very fiery. But I did not want to, he went through the signs before the game, and I'm like, don't give me a sign because I have no idea what you're doing right now, So luckily I didn't have to put a bunt down or anything. So yeah, it was just a fun staff.
So you do 96, you do 97, 98, you're out.
Yeah.
You go back 99
out of options. I'm still on the 40-man. I'm out of options. So I've got to make the team or be put on waivers. So I go in, have a really good spring training. It was between me and another guy. They had got off waivers from Cleveland, big left-handed hitting prospect outfielder. And, I make the team, and I remember them calling me in, and Francona is just like, we've tried to get you a spot on this team. And, I was like, oh, crap, here we go again. And he's like, we finally got you a spot. And he jumped up, gave me,
nice. He
was almost crying.
Yeah.
For Terry, it's very emotional because you don't see those managers got to break so many hearts.
Oh, absolutely.
And very rarely do they get to give,
rough job.
give that news of, hey, you've made it.
Yeah.
And I remember he was pretty emotional about it. Obviously I was too. And, sprinted out. My wife was waiting. Kim was waiting outside and told her, and my agent was there. And it was just a great, put my bat order in for Atlanta, and we went to Atlanta for opening day.
You can tell by the excitement, reliving that.
Oh, it's awesome, man.
It has to be.
For so many kids who don't get it, for a 27th round pick, that doesn't happen, and I just persevered, and me and a lot of other guys have done the same thing. But, guys, people ask me all the time, aren't you upset because you didn't get the play? I go, no, I'm happy I got 2 years.
Right.
I mean, yeah, take the major league being in the show, but I mean, your minor league, you got a 32 game history that still stands.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
that's something that
I got to see a lot of places I never would have went to Japan, played multiple winters in Mexico, which I love doing, and my family and all my kids. You know,
That's
Easton's
not a bad winter.
no,
No.
yeah, it's pretty good winter. You know, Easton's probably the only one that got robbed. He wasn't born during that time, and Ava was very young. Owen lived it. He got to live in Japan and go to the clubhouse and do, you know, sit and talk to Scott Rowland in a big league clubhouse. You know, it's just he got to live it.
Well, I got one last question. When you're in the minor leagues, how true is Bull Durham?
Pretty close.
I figured.
The bus rides.
Love it.
People ask me, do I miss playing? But it's the bus rides, man. It's the time with the team and the clubhouse and, you know, sitting in the locker room when you're done and drinking beer because you don't want to go to the bar and spend money when you can drink it.
You don't have it. You don't have it.
Exactly. So yeah, those are the times, man, of just hanging out and being with the guys, and that's the fun part of it.
Yeah, I think that's everybody would tell you they miss the most.
Oh, yeah.
That camaraderie and hanging out with the guys and doing their thing.
Definitely.
Hey, Dave, it's been a great pleasure.
We got
one more?
We got to do rapid fire.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Let's go. Yeah, this is good stuff. So you better.
All right.
Just,
I'm gonna go with mine first.
Okay, go ahead.
Favorite restaurant in the fort?
Oh man. Azteca.
Great answer.
Oh my God,
That's his favorite. We haven't been there in a long time.
First,
But
I don't even have to ask Mexican.
from the days back, me and my wife have loved El Azteca.
Thank you.
He's happy. We can that should be a walk off right there. He's all happy.
Now, Azteca favorite restaurant. Now, we do like Cebollas in Georgetown. We get carry out a lot, but yeah, definitely.
Spread the love. Spread the love. Hey, what are you watching on Netflix right now?
Not now, but I recently finished Ozarks.
Okay.
Great show until the last show.
Exactly.
Pissed me off.
But we do a lot of Netflix movies, but they've had some really good ones. So we're always streaming something.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's the way it is now.
Yeah.
People don't watch TV.
We got rid of cable a long time ago.
So, what is your greatest sports moment? Personal sports moment. Can be high school, college, pro.
It'd have to be well, I would say my first call up, but that and the walk off in Philadelphia to win that night. My first night in Philadelphia, being on the back of the Philly Inquirer the next day.
Way to get the Philly fans behind you.
Yeah, exactly.
The hardest fans.
No, and they were, believe me, I made an error the next day and they were booing me, sending me back to AAA. So they are true diehard fans for sure. For sure.
Hey, again, it's been a great pleasure having you on here.
We could go on and on.
Yeah, we could. I mean, I know Coach Bish. We're going to get him, looking in on this. So we got to make sure he watched this episode. But just an absolute pleasure. We're so happy.
And what a great thing for the kids at New Haven to see this.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's there.
Great.
He's right here. Go get tutelage.
I walk around all the time. So
that's great.
Kids, kids
you work out.
talk.
You work out
the dungeon. Yeah, I do some lessons on there. Rich hooked me up pretty good. That I could do a lot more, but there's a lot of times I just want to go home after work and chill and hang out with the family. I retired to hang with the family. I don't want to be away from them, So
I said thanks a lot for being on here tonight. We really appreciate it. We'll be right back here on the 260.